In this video, I'm gonna show you one quick tweak that lets you triple your closing rates, lets you charge higher prices, and selling your services and your offer without having to give any pricing discounts. This is something that I have understood really well in the past 8 years of doing sales. In my career, I have trained and hired and managed over 100 sales reps. I have ran 2 different sales teams with over 15 people. I have owned a sales outsourcing agency. So in this video, I'm gonna show you if you run an agency or if you're a freelancer, how to actually close more, how to close with bigger prices, and how to close predictably by actually understanding how sales works. So the first thing we need to understand that there are different types of prospects. There's prospects who buy more easily and there's prospects who buy harder. So if we have 10 different sales calls for your agency, and the thing that you need to understand that 20% of these 10 prospects will never buy your service. It doesn't matter how good your offer is, it doesn't matter how good your price is, it doesn't matter how many case studies you have. Around 10 to 20% of the people who you talk to on a daily basis will never buy. They are on your pipeline by mistake, they're just tire kickers, they don't have budget, they are not decision makers. Obviously, the better you get in sales, the quicker and better you're able to identify this 20% in your pipeline and you're able to get rid of them quicker. And obviously there's the other side of things. So around 20% of the prospects are gonna buy super easy. And these prospects will pretty much buy your offer as long as you just don't mess it up. Obviously, when you're starting out in sales, when you run an agency, you're not as confident in your service, you're not confident in your sales abilities, you don't know the niche that much. Yeah, you're gonna still mess up a lot of these deals. Usually most agency owners that are doing like below 20, 30K a month, they are only selling to this group of people. And they usually are closing like half of this 20%. So they have 10 calls, 2 of those people in those 10 calls are gonna buy super easily. And then you talk to both of them, you mess one up, and then you close one. And this gives you like a 10 to 15% closing rate on average. But what you need to understand that there's still 60% of deals in the middle. These prospects are people and companies who are able to buy. They are open to the idea of buying. They can be converted, but you need to increase their certainty. They are not easy sells. So what I'm going to show you in this video is how to sell to all of these people and also how to convert a bigger amount of these people. If you're able to get one extra deal from the 60% of the people in your pipeline, you're going to be doubling the clients that you close. For all of this to work, we first need to understand 2 different concepts or 2 different terms. There's first a term called buying temperature. And this is pretty much a level of certainty that the prospect needs to have in order to buy your service. And then obviously there's the second part of the equation, which is certainty. Certainty they have in your offer, in their company, in their service, in their skills, and in their case studies. And the higher the certainty is, the more certain and confident they are that your offer and your solution can actually solve their problem. The certainty that the prospect has in your service needs to go above their buying temperature or at least really close to it for them to be able to buy it. Some prospects by nature, they have a lower buying temperature. They trust people really easily. They have had great success buying similar services in the past. So these are usually the people you're really selling to as a beginner agency owner. You give a good pitch and you have a good price and boom, you're already over their certainty line and you're able to get the yes from them. And then some people have an extremely high buying temperature. They are more skeptical. They've probably been burned by other agencies in the past. They probably don't have that much money. They probably are not really good at taking risks. And then there's obviously the top 20% who don't have any interest in buying your service at all, and they're pretty much buying temperature is out of the picture in this case. What a lot of agency owners and freelancers at the beginning, what they do, they hop on a sales call with 10 people and they find the people who have a really low buying temperature and they close them. That's obviously amazing, you're closing clients, but that's not really predictable because obviously if they have a really low buying temperature, they're really easy sales. Your competitors are also most likely able to close them really fast. And if you're just competing to close easy clients, your market isn't super expandable. It's not really scalable. You want to be able to take the prospects who need a higher level of certainty to buy the service. Not all of your competitors can close them. And also there's like 5 times more people who fit that criteria than who fit the easy buying criteria. So usually what happens is you send them a cold email, they see an ad and you give some kind of a first impression. If you give a really good first impression, if you sound really professional, you have a really good email funnel or whatever it might be, their certainty is already going to increase a bit here. So let's say prospect certainty level is here and their buying temperature is all the way up here. So what a lot of people do is they hop on and they do a discovery call with the prospect. So they talk with the prospect, they get to know them. And if you have a good discovery call, the prospect's certainty level is going to immediately increase during this process. They see that you're a real person, you know what you're talking about. They see that you're actually here to help them. So it's going to increase their level of certainty. And their certainty is going to be here. Then what happens is you book a demo call with them. And in the demo call, you give them the pitch, boom, 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 you give them the price, etc. And their certainty is here. What most people do, they ask for the deal here and they get a big fat no. What a lot of people do here, they're like, okay, they don't want to buy. They told me no. I don't want to be pushy. I don't want to be aggressive. So I'm just going to give them more information. I'm going to see if they maybe buy later. And then they just stop the sales process here. And what happens is the prospect never gets answers to their question and they never buy. The reason why they didn't buy the service from you in that scenario is because they didn't have enough of certainty. The certainty didn't meet their buying temperature. So there is a clear gap here. A lot of people, they're just trying to buy time. They're like, okay, I don't want to buy this, but I don't want to be super mean to this guy. So I'll just tell that I think about it and then I'll tell them that I don't want to buy it in 3 days. And you, as an agency owner, you might think, okay, they're going to think about it and then maybe hopefully they'll buy. By thinking about it for 3 days, their certainty is not going to magically increase without getting more information. They're not going to find their questions and doubts alone. So what happens during these 3 days is they think about it, boom, 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 and probably they like forget some details, so their buying temperature goes a bit lower. And then after 3 days, you ask again, okay, do you want to buy this? And they'll tell you, no, we don't want to get it. And the reason for this is because there's a gap between their buying temperature and the certainty. So people automatically think, okay, the more time I spend thinking about this thing, the more information I'm going to get. But the big problem here is that the only person who's able to provide information about your offer is you. Like they're not going to go read a textbook about your offer. It's just not going to happen. So what happens here is when they give you the first no after your pitch, you don't want to think that, damn, this person is not going to buy, this company is not going to buy it. What you need to do is you need to identify that, okay, there's a clear gap between their buying temperature and the certainty that they have right now. But you have already done so much work to get them to this point, and then you just need to do a little bit of work to get the result that you're actually looking for with this whole process, and you just quit. So what you need to do here is, okay, there's a clear gap. They told you no, but what is the thing that you're really concerned about? What is in your head right now? Are you worried about something? And then the prospect is going to tell you, I'm a bit worried that this is not GDPR friendly. That's why they are not certain on this, because they're worried about something in their head, and they would not have gotten an answer to this question if they just had thought about it for 3 days. So I'm going to explain them. Yeah, John, I completely understand. GDPR is something that we need to respect and we need to abide by. Actually, we have spent a lot of time figuring this out ourselves, making sure there's no problems with the GDPR law. And then they hear that answer, they're like, interesting. I didn't know that. So obviously their certainty is going to go up. And then you're like, okay, John, would you now want to buy this? And you close again. But as you can see, there's still a gap between their buying temperature and their certainty. And they tell you no. Okay, John, 100% once again understand. Is there something else that you're concerned besides the GDPR law? Because usually in these cases, the reason why people don't want to do this is because they just don't have enough of information on this. And they tell you, we are just really worried about the lead quality. We tried out a lead generation service in the past with Facebook ads, and the lead quality was absolutely garbage. And we just spent a lot of time and money into getting leads that never converted. And then once again, okay, we have identified the gap between their certainty, and you can explain to them, you can give them an answer. Yeah, John, once again, I 100% understand. Obviously, doing lead generation is completely useless if the leads are not someone who are going to buy your service. But the problem that we have seen with Facebook ads is that you can't specifically target the right group of people that you want to target. But when we are doing cold email, and this is just in the context if you're selling a B2B lead generation service, the great thing about it is that we can choose exactly who we target. We can pick 2,000 prospects who fit your niche, who fit your criteria, and then we're able to reach out to only those people. Cold emails are super easy to delete. They're super easy not to reply. So the people who end up actually coming to the calls through our cold email campaigns, they have really high intent. They are really interested. And that is big power of cold email, why it works so well. And they're like, that actually makes a lot of sense. Boom, boom, boom. And the certainty once again increases. But once again, if you want to actually close them, you need to ask, okay, John, now knowing this information, is there something else in your mind? Or do you just want to get started next week? And they once again tell you no. So, okay, John, what are the last concerns that you have in your head? Like, what are you still thinking about? Yeah, I'm just worried that what if it doesn't work? They're like, okay, I completely understand. But what I'll do for you is I'll give you a 30-day satisfaction guarantee. So we work together for 30 days. You're able to see how we work. And if after those 30 days, you're not 100% satisfied with our service and you don't see this actually being something that you want to do, you're just able to let us know and we'll refund all of your money. And then they're like, okay, there's no risk. I have a great satisfaction guarantee. Boom. Their certainty jumps here. You ask for the deal and they're going to actually tell you, yes, sure, let's do it. And this is something that most people mess up. They don't understand that pitching is only like 50% of the job. They think that they need to have banger pitch, banger offer, banger guarantee, and boom, that's gonna be everything. And they deliver their pitch, they ask for the deal, and the prospect doesn't buy. But actually, that's only 50% of the job. And in sales, like a good rule of thumb to have is the more you ask for the deal, the more money you make. And there's a really simple sales framework that I have used for 8 years that really, really helps with this situation. And it's something that is called looping. So the first thing that you're gonna have your pitch, and the next thing that's what's gonna happen is immediately after a pitch, you're gonna go for the close. You're gonna ask for the deal. You're gonna ask, okay, John, would you like to do this? Would you like to work with us? Do you wanna get started on Monday? And then after the close, in 90% of the cases, you're gonna get a no. And this is where actually sales starts. This is actually when you need to start selling. So after the no, what you do, you clarify objection. Because obviously, if you don't know why they're telling you no, it's gonna be impossible for you to actually get the deal. And when you clarify the objection, what you do is you handle the objection. John, do you wanna buy it? They tell you no. You ask why? They tell you because the timing is not good. And you're like, okay, sure. You handle the timing objection, and immediately after you have handled the timing objection, you go in for the close again. And you do this until the prospect tells you yes. And then you just go and onboard them. Okay, boom, let's book the onboarding call. Let's do all of these things. This is how you need to look at sales when you're selling your agency's services. This is obviously a framework that works with every single sales product ever. So if you just do this, you're able to start closing 3 times higher in your next call. You're able to increase your prices. You don't have to give discounts anymore, because a lot of people, when they get a no, they just try to give a discount and it just doesn't work out. It's a complete mess. Of course, if you want to learn more of these things about sales, running an agency, doing cold outreach, whatever it might be, you can go check out leadgenkit.io. It's a completely free resource. So just go leadgenkit.io or click the link in the description. And obviously, if you like this video, please drop me a like and also subscribe to the channel, because I'm trying to get to 10K subs ASAP, and it would really, really, really warm my heart if you did that.